Hello there friends, it's the second day of the ESL Pro League. Let's see how things are going in Group A and why Bumych is being offered to move to Cloud9. Today as always, we have a lot of matches, interview reviews and news. Let's get straight to it. So let's start with the news as always. It became known why Bumych was kicked out. Here's what their coach says about this. During the summer break, many top teams and lineups from the top 15 of the world ranking showed interest in Serotan. He sensed a huge amount of interest in himself, so we had to think about if we see him in our project or not. Besides, his contract is expiring soon, so we had to decide if we wanted to keep this guy in the main team or let him go as a free agent. He knows how we work, since he played in the academy with me, Torji and JDC. The skill set that this guy has will speak for itself. And that's right, Bumych was removed only because there was a queue formed for the youngster. It's a shame when this happens, but it's pro level. Otzi also told about the changes in his team. Apparently, the guys did not leave things on a good note with Dexter, so they like to share some sweet words from time to time. Wonderful is handling everything well. After Dexter left, he became a sniper, which we needed for our structure. He plays the way we want, because before it was very difficult to explain some things to the previous sniper. We are playing more confidently now because we have a good atmosphere in the team. Of course, it's way better than it was before. So, they say such things and it almost seems like they accidentally went through the semi-finals of the major with lost composition. The atmosphere was worse, the sniper did not do what they needed to. That's what I call a didn't get along. We also have an interesting opinion from a commentator and analyst, M0NESY. In an interview with Richard Lewis, he had a go at M0NESY. I once said that M0NESY should be removed from Cloud9 and replaced with Bumych. I see two different possible ways for Cloud9. The team can win the tournament, as it was in Dallas, even though there was a weaker competition there, or the team may fail, as it happened during Cologne. I talked about it in an analytics studio. Cloud9 bought 2 ops while playing in Dust 2 for the attack, and left them for 3 rounds in a row. The team did not make a single frag with this weapon. I think M0NESY is too unstable in role of captain. I think Bumych can bring championship experience to the team, and I can see how he can build a system together with Groove. Because of this opinion, I received a lot of hate. People were sending various angry voice messages in Russian. Wow. Apparently, Cloud9 fans attacked the analyst defending Nathaniel's honor. Friends, what do you think? Could Bumych really fit in Cloud9? To be honest, it seems very unlikely to me, but I will gladly read your opinion in the comments. Well, now, let's get to the matches. Yesterday, Fnatic surprised everyone when they beat NIP 2 times in a row with a score of 16-4. Endpoint also showed a decent result against Vitality, though only in Vertigo, but I thought it would be much worse there. But what they did with Spirit was extremely unexpected, especially after Chopper's team basically destroyed them on Overpass, 16-3, and there is not even anything to talk about. We can only enjoy a clutch from Wonderful.
Tell me right now.
Oh, he spotted the shadow there. Nice shot from Wonderful.
But that's the cue, right? So now you know you can just make your way in towards B.
Oh, shouldn't. Let's see what he has to say about things. Going towards the site, that's going to displace Crucial. Has really no choice. Has to swing it with Surreal. And me, and it's a one-on-one now. Wonderful with a real chance to put up the Wonder Wall directly below him. Crucial trying to bait this out. The AWP barrel very, very long. A difficult shot to hit. The AK should have him every day of the week. And Wonderful, what a shot!
On Ancient, the teams exchanged series. We've got Spirit taking 5-6 rounds in a row, dropping the economy, beginning their domination. But then Endpoint, all of a sudden, turned it over with 1 clutch and does the same in return. All these endless swings have resulted in the fact that Spirit led 15-13 in defense. And you know how C decided this map is. But what Nurse did at the crucial moment was so confident and ruthless. Endpoint tried from the last forces to lead everything to overtime, and they succeeded in it. Nobody believed in this team at all. The bookmaker odds reached some unbelievable numbers. And in overtime, another clutch became crucial, now from Mighty Max. After that, Spirit didn't make a single round. 19-17, everything will be decided in Vertigo. And just like this, the team played at the same level. They went neck to neck until a 10-10 score Patsy took a leap of faith just like in Assassin's Creed. Only at the bottom, not a haystack was waiting for him, but death. The guys were so tilted after giving up their own round that they came to their senses when the score was already extremely unpleasant. They had to make a comeback from 10-14 scoreline. They repeated exactly the same feat as Endpoint on the last map. They wormed their way through overtime, and after a long and extended battle, they still made it through victorious. An unexpected game from Endpoint. They came here as a dark horse. Patsy and Magix led their team to the first victory in the group. Let's move on to the Navi versus Fnatic game. Let's see what All-Champ Krems comes up with against the top 1 team in the world. And at first, it seemed that he came up with nothing. The score is 9-1, everything seems way too easy. Navi plays aggressively in defense. They press and constantly find entry frags. And plus, there are no doubts about their shooting skill at all. The key points are all under control, the opponent's tactics have been studied. Everything was going just great, until M0NESY decided to make life difficult for Navi. First, he gave out several important headshots on force, and finally gave his team hope for at least some chances in the second half. half. And then he did the same thing during full buy. As a result, from 1 to 9 score, Fnatic reached 5 to 10. That score is already much more pleasant, especially considering that the defense is ahead. If it weren't for M0NESY, we would already be mentally preparing for the second map. But that way, we'll watch what's going to happen on Ancient. Fnatic played in defense exemplarily, and Navi somehow showed themselves much weaker in the attack. I looked at the statistics. After Bumych left, Natus here has huge problems with this map. They play it extremely rarely, and it's not like they often win here, like 50-50. Round after round, Fnatic built their comeback and succeeded to make it happen. And very confidently, it's necessary to note. With that, everyone played like that against the top 1 of the world. Electronic and Blade did not agree on something there during the timeout. It's not often you see the captain and coach arguing. Blade seemed to reprimand him, and Electronic does not seem to listen, or does not believe in the words of his coach. So the teams reached the 13th round. It turns out that Navi were able to make only 4 rounds in the attack, and the final quad turned out to be very epic. 16-14 and 1-0. Navi loses in a beautiful ending. Then Mirage, the peak of Natus here. And here, we immediately see a completely different level, at least in the attack. It can be clearly seen that Electronic feels himself very comfortable here, which cannot be said about Fnatic. If at their peak they looked very cool on defense, then here it's more like just a mix. Just look at those clever tactical steps for yourself. 11-4 in the first half. It was a completely different level of the attack, not like in the map before. And in defense, you yourself know that Navi has never had any special problems, especially in Mirage. They gave away only 4 rounds in the second half. Electronic and Simple together made almost 50 frags, just like in the good old days. The best duo in the world is coming back. Everything will be decided on Inferno. Here, everything happened exactly the same as in Mirage. Navi dominates in defense. Fnatic tries to catch up with them in the attack, and then they do it with the help of single rounds. In contrast to Asian here, Natus here met their opponent's clutches with their clutches as well. Well, you know for yourself. Newton's fourth law. Every action has a reaction. After that, the Fnatic finally began to lose their confidence. No other way worked out for them. B is closed, their Bid and Perfecto are fighting at beast mode, so there is basically a sign, danger, keep out. As it's not an option too, the support players there do their job perfectly. 11-4 in the first half. We see all this for the third map in a row. In the second half, there is nothing remarkable too. Fnatic somehow took 3 rounds, the score is 16-7, Navi continues the winning streak in the group. But perhaps the guys should train on Nation more, it is still far from perfect. It is clear that Fnatic has a good potential, but to become the top team, they'll have to put a lot of effort. You cannot just assemble a new squad, substitute 3 players, and win right away. At least not against Navi. Electronic finishes the match taking the first place, wine point 34 rating 2.0. My man is good. That way, he could easily get the second MVP instead of Simple.
Yeah, we expected like something like this. They're not a strong team. They didn't play a lot of official matches together with this lineup, and they need more experience on this level.
So, it's still not about Fnatic at last, but about NIP, who were miserably defeated by not even the best team. Let's see what they will show against Vitality. Well, of course nothing. I do not know what happened to them, but those guys aren't the same. If earlier they could have won against Navi and were able to get to playoffs, now everyone is mocking them. As Blade correctly said in the interview, they lack firepower. They simply lose in shootouts. When you have Raz and Estetag going with 3-4 frags during the first half, what can we talk about here at all? They lost the first half in Nuke with a score of 3-12. Vitality definitely didn't stop themselves from having fun. Somehow, they managed to win the pistol round and went to the score of 3-13. But the point is that the French had nothing to show in the attack. They instantly lost all of their advantage. If not for some single round like here with Dupree, then everything would be very bad. All hope was only for ZywOo, but even his solo performances were sometimes not enough.
Pretty dire, gonna try an entry up into upper. Gonski caught with a jump, double entry, watch out, careful, headshots galore, and ZywOo with 15 seconds to stick a bomb on the floor. He's gonna go for it. Full stick, nades from above. Nade is good, but ZywOo still stands tall and might just deliver death onto Nip. No! Rez comes in.
NIP made a comeback, and the score became 14-14. That's what happens when you relax prematurely. Vitality already thought that the game was settled, but while the 16th is not on the scoreboard, you can still get some comeback, which NIP have proven. And when the game got really heated up, Mr. Dupree came to the rescue. He made 3 kills in the most important round and transferred to the 15th. And in the last round, Apex and ZywOo fought like bosses, even though it wasn't equal in number.
Shot dropping into the site now. This is the moment. This is the chance. Plopsky holds on with a double. They're going to try and get down the vent. Apex killing out through the hut. And the bomb on the back of ZywOo makes it down into the B side of the map. Plant now on the cards. Apex might need to catch this up in rotation. Rez has just missed him. Apex waits with bated breath up and over. Apex has got it. Hampa's now in the 1v2. He was the guy that really tried to kickstart all this comeback. Let's see if he can do it. No!
Well, as they say, there's a way to come back only until the 14th. It's 16-14 scoreline, nice try NIP. They almost did it. I guess it was a bad idea to give away so many rounds in the first half. Well, they probably didn't count in Vertigo very much. Over the past 6 months, they have lost there 6 times out of 8. So it turned out to be an easy win for Vitality. It's 2-0, NIP is in the last place in the group. Vitality, like Navi, have not yet stumbled. Well friends, we'll continue to watch the ESL Pro League together. There are still 3 more match days in Group A. Subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss anything. Bye bye!